not going to happen, though. It's not going to happen. June 28th, that's not going to happen. On June 28th, AAW, I'm shaving that little kid's head.
I think win or lose, you should shave the kid's head. I don't know why. Why are you turning me into a bad guy? I'm out here all supporting this bad behavior. I don't know, guys. I don't think the kid's head should be shaved.
No, you want his head shaved.
No. Who wants to see a poor kid get his head shaved in a wrestling show? But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, the Wrestling Classic, here with Joe Alonzo. Very special, sporadic, out of nowhere return of Joe Alonzo because he's got some stuff going on. He was wrestling Chuck E. Smooth June 28th. Big stipulations, big situation. Chuck E. Smooth's kid is in the danger zone. How are we doing, Joe Alonzo? Nice shirt.
Oh, yeah, you like that shit?
Yeah. Reppin'. I appreciate it. What's going on, though?
It's big. It's good. When you gave this to me, I was fat. So now it doesn't fit no more. Now it's a little too big.
That happened to a lot of people where they're like, it became the gym shirts, a sleeping shirt, their at-home shirt. Some people want it oversized. Some people want it to fit. Some people it doesn't fit them no more because they got jacked. Some people it doesn't fit them no more because they got jacked the other way. They lost weight. So it happens.
Yeah, man. But June 28th. Chuck Smooth. Are you familiar with Chuck Smooth, by the way? Let me ask you that.
I am not. The name, when you said it, I'm like, I feel like I've heard that before, but I'm not super familiar about Chuck E. Smooth. So why don't you tell me about him? And I forgot to mention this is happening at AAW in Illinois. It's one of their most popular promotions. Some of the biggest names have stepped through those doors and wrestled in that ring. I've been to 2 AAW shows myself. So, I've been there when guys like MJF were there and others. But tell me more about Chuck. Joe Alonzo, guys like Seth Rollins wrestled there. There's a whole list of names I could list. Yeah, I remember one time coming to a show and they had posters of all the people that wrestled there. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But tell me about Chuck E. Smooth.
So, first of all, not surprised that you don't know much about Chuck E. Smooth. Basically, I mean, everyone says it themselves. You can look up interviews of Punk, Cabana, Ace Steel, Adam Pearce. They all say the same thing, that Chuck Smooth had all the potential in the world. He came up with all of them. They were all on top in the Midwest. And then, those guys were in love with pro wrestling, and then Chuck Smooth was in love with drugs. And it's just the truth. That's just I know that sounds crazy to say, but that is the truth. That is what happened. He fell in love with drugs, went down a bad path, and he fell off the face of the earth. The dude was dating Britney Spears, was her backup dancer. Dude was all over the world. He was going to go to Japan. It was just ready to take off. And then he loved that. He loved that dope. Joe Alonzo's the most dope professional wrestler this generation's ever seen. And Chuck Smooth he loves the most dope.
It's crazy because like I said, I'm familiar with his name. I've heard the name before. I might have even seen him wrestle. I'm not saying I haven't, but now that you say he came up with all those guys around the same time, I'm almost guaranteed. I've heard of him before.
There's a famous photo you can find. It's of Punk, Cabana, Dave Prazak, and then the fourth guy is Chuck Smooth, and they're all standing, flexing like this.
Yeah.
And the one's Chuck Smooth, the forgotten one. So basically, Chuck Smooth, terrible drug addict.
Yeah.
Fell off the face of the earth. Good for him, Hey, he got.
I mean, did he fall off the face of the earth if he dated Britney Spears and was a backup dancer?
Yeah, but that was before the drugs got bad, and then
okay,
and then he no one heard of him, no one talked to him, just disappeared. He got sober, which is good for him. Most people can't get off the dope, so he's off the dope, 20 years clean, I think now. And then he decided he wants to get back into professional wrestling. And then he hears about, who's this hot, young, up-and-coming kid, the most dope professional wrestler this generation has ever seen? That was Joe Alonzo. And he wanted a piece of that. He wanted to put his name and tie his name to that. At the time, AAW, Danny Daniels, the promoters there, they don't like me saying this, but they never wanted to book me because they've heard all these things about me. And Chuck Smooth was like, yo, I like this kid. He reminds me of me, minus the drugs. And I want to bring him in and I want to manage him. And that's how I got brought in. I met Chuck Smooth. We hit it off right away. I thought he was pretty cool, entertaining, and he helped me out a little bit. But it kind of all just started clicking more and more, man, that you in wrestling, no one ever helps you out just to help you out. That's not a thing. Chuck Smooth wanted something out of it. He knew I was going to the top of this industry, which I am still on the occasion of rising. And he wanted to tie his name to that because I think he thought being with Joe Alonzo was his like last claim to fame because he could say, "Oh yeah, I was buddies with Punk and Chris Hero and Cabana and Steele and Pierce and whatever." Now it's like, oh, who's relevant now? Younger guy? I can latch on to Joe Alonzo, and I saw it from a mile away, bro. Saw it from a mile away.
So did he manage you then for a bit? Is this how this all started?
Yeah, he was managing me at AAW. He got my foot in the door at AAW.
So where did the fallout happen?
Where did like we start?
Yeah,
but
like where did the tension start?
Mainly like he would just try to tell me how to be me. Like,
yeah,
oh Joe, you got to start doing this. You should start coming out this way, or start talking like this, or I had this idea. You should do this. Like, bro, no, like it's what I want, and he is trying to live vicariously through me. And it's like, dude, you had your chance. You fell off the face of the earth because of drugs. I'm not a drug addict, and I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do what I want to do. So we just kept bumping heads, and then like the straw that broke the camel's back is that I was AAW Heritage Champion. Many wrestlers before me held the same title, a year-long reign, and he doesn't show up. He doesn't show up the day of me defending this title, one of the days, and a lot of things kind of happened in the match, and I didn't walk out on top. I didn't go home with that title around my waist. And in my opinion, it's because of Chuck Smooth. We had a game plan every single time. We didn't have a game plan that day, lost the title, and because Chuck Smooth said that his son was in the hospital or something like that. And he didn't like that I said, I was upset about losing the title, whatever, I'm over it now. I'll get another opportunity at the world title. But he said that he couldn't make it because his son was sick, and they didn't like the comment I made that I said, it's not my fault that the kid was born with drugs in the system.
I mean, do you not think that was a little far for you to say that?
I mean, I don't know how old the kid is. Well, okay, so maybe that was wrong. Maybe what I said was wrong as far as because the timing of it, because Chuck's been sober for like 20 years, the kid's only 6. So maybe the kid didn't have drugs in the system, but maybe there was some stuff left in, Chuck's product that he was giving to his wife, and maybe there was like a little dope in there.
In Chuck's product. Okay, go on.
So maybe the kid just has like a little bit off, like there's something a little off about the kid. So like I thought that and whatever. And Chuck said we could squash the beef if I apologize. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll apologize. I had the kid in the ring. I'm sure you saw the clip to where
I did.
I told the kid, I said, listen, Stevie, kid's name is Stevie, 6-year-old. He's kind of a good kid. He's like kind of a little asshole. But I told him, I said, I'm sorry that your mother decided to love drugs more than she loves you because she's not around anymore. So like that's just the truth. Like he said to say sorry. I said I was sorry. They didn't tell me what to say sorry for. They just said say sorry. So I'm sorry that your mother loves drugs more than you. Chuck tried swinging on me because he didn't like what I said. My new boy, Donovan Marcellus, who I replaced Chuck Smooth with. Donovan's a younger up-and-coming kid from Indiana. Reminds me a little bit of a young Joe Alonzo. Not as cool, but like he has potential. And I replaced him, and me and Donovan kind of had to just put Chuck in his place and let him know that he's just an old man and it's time for you to disappear again. Like wrestling wasn't your thing. All of your friends are now millionaires and very successful. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's time for you to leave. So last show, Chuck Smooth, like a maniac, coming from the audience, coming over the guardrail, like the fan he is, on the other side of the guardrail, jumps the guardrail and tries to attack me. And now he wants to wrestle me. He thinks he has like one more left in the tank, and he wants to wrestle Joe Alonzo. And I told him, it's time to if you want to wrestle me, make it worth my while.
Was it very offensive to you that someone that was trying to live vicariously through you and you gave them that opportunity and you brought them back to the spotlight wouldn't be there for you when you most needed it in that championship match?
Say that one more time.
Does it bother you? Did it bother you that someone that was living vicariously through you, that you got to bring back into the spotlight, that you felt like you were doing a favor for, didn't show up for you when you needed him to during that championship match?
Absolutely. And then everyone was trying to tell me that, like, oh, well, it's understandable because he was trying to be a good father and be there for his kid. But it's like, bro, like, what's honestly worth more? Like, you couldn't have somebody else take your son to the hospital. You knew what the date was. You knew that it was a big match. You knew that I was wrestling my old trainer, who I basically replaced with Chuck. So he knew how big and how high the stakes were, and he decided to put his kid before me. And I'm not trying. That sounds like very narcissistic, and I swear I'm not a narcissist. Like, I understand, like where he's coming from. But in that time, I felt like maybe he should have prioritized Joe Alonzo before his son, just for that.
Because, in your mind, not to like pick sides here, maybe you were thinking like, hey, Chuck, your career didn't go the way you planned. You made some mistakes. You made some bad decisions. And you're just out here trying to help him make good decisions. And he's just out here making bad decisions again, like not showing up when he's supposed to. Like, maybe you're just trying to knock some sense in his head. Maybe people are looking at this all the wrong way. Maybe you became Chucky Smooth's new addiction and you were trying to help him because you are the dopest wrestler today. But he just wasn't
dope with dope, bro.
Yeah, but like,
dope with dope.
And then like it's like, hey, this one you can't quit like that, man, because I'm trying to help you instead of the other dope. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. I kind of get it, but what I don't get is this. Right now, to play devil's advocate, to support Chucky for a second, is what I don't get is why does the poor little kid have to be involved, and why is his hair on the line? What is this like more of just like you want to show him who's in charge? Like, why is the kid involved?
Okay. So, the stipulation for the match on June 28th at AAW is Chuck wants to wrestle me. I said, make it worth my while. He has nothing to offer me. The dude's broke. He has to get up every single morning at 2 a.m. to go to work, which he barely gets by with that. He has no career, so I can't like, put your career on the line because nobody even remembers you. Like, I had to educate you on who Chuck Smooth was. Like, so they have nothing. So the only thing he has is his child. Like, he thinks that he's the world's greatest dad, and you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing he could brag about. He's like, oh, I have this great kid. Like, I'm such a great father. I take my son, his name's Stevie, to do X, Y, Z, and I live for Stevie, and Stevie keeps him sober, and blah, 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 right? That's all he has. There's nothing he can give me. So I'm like, all right, you wanna wrestle Joe Alonzo, make it worth my while, and if we wrestle, you have to put on the line, when I beat you, I get to shave your 6-year-old son Stevie's head in the middle of the ring. And the reason for that is because he, Chuck Smooth, lost my AAW Heritage title. So I think it's fair. I felt embarrassed at the time, whatever. It was a life lesson I've learned and I moved on. But I feel it's only fair to make this man, Chuck Smooth, sit there and watch his son get his head shaved in front of hundreds of people to humiliate Chuck, to make him learn his lesson. And then after that, goodbye. And then maybe he can go dabble in something else. I go leech off someone else. I don't know. Just get away from me.
Is there something he gets if he wins? Or is this just he gets the match if he agreed to the stipulation?
They were trying to talk about putting my hair on the line. Not happening, because I feel like at management and them, they don't really like me and stuff like that. So I could see them trying to screw me over and take away these beautiful locks here. But the stipulation is, if I lose, big if, that I am no longer at AAW, which if for some odd reason that were to happen, you might see me pop up somewhere else.
Isn't that their loss?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's nobody on that roster that can even touch me. I don't care.
I don't know if I'm being biased, but isn't that their loss? You lose to Chucky Smooth and you're gone. And if he
They say I'm a
loses,
problem.
his kid gets a haircut that he probably needs. Like, how does that even make any?
They say I'm a problem. They say no. Everyone in the locker room complains about me. They say fans say I go too far and it makes them uncomfortable. So there's that. Management, like the booker, the people who help the booker out, Danny Daniels. They say I'm difficult to work with when it comes to showing up on time. When it comes to filming certain content that they want to film. Like, I feel like my vision is better than theirs. I feel like they want me to be there at like 2, 3 o'clock when I could show up like an hour before doors, so I could show up at like 5:36. Like, there's a lot of stuff, but they can't afford to lose me. But then they feel like they can replace me, and then I'm just another guy. But all right, that's fine. Like, watch me show up somewhere else and make them a lot of money.
Well, I'm looking forward to this match, June 20th.
But it's not gonna happen, though. It's not gonna happen. June 28th. That's not gonna happen. On June 28th, AAW. I'm shaving that little kid's head.
I think win or lose, you should shave the kid's head. I don't know why are you turning me into a bad guy? I'm out here all supporting this bad behavior. I don't know, guys. I don't think the kid's head should be shaved.
No, you want his head shaved.
No. Who wants to see a poor kid get his head shaved in a wrestling show? But anyways, that all being said, AAW guys, June 28th.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? Could you imagine?
I don't
I send you that collab, Justin, and I'm just shaving this little fucker's head. Just dude.
I don't even remember. You know, it'd be the craziest. I don't even remember if I've ever seen a time a kid got their head shaved in professional wrestling. Like, ever.
I'm gonna be the first. I'm gonna be the first. Make history.
Oh man, I feel for Chucky Smooth. Hopefully, he can make something happen. That'd be a lot of trauma for that kid growing up, being like, "Dad, you made me get my head shaved. You're a horrible father."
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy that
who puts that kid in that position.
Dude, Chuck's ego. He felt so embarrassed because I embarrassed him once that I busted this dude up. Like, he was gushing blood. Like, I came out with a t-shirt of that moment of Chuck just gushing blood from the center of his face and his son crying like, "Dad, you're supposed to be Superman." Like, well, what is happening? Like, Joe Alonzo, your kryptonite is killing you right in front of me. Like, so he feels like he has to, I don't know, I think he knows that his son doesn't look at him like he's Superman anymore. So he's like, "Oh, I gotta do this. I don't care what's on the stake." Yeah, I don't know, man.
We've seen it in wrestling. You can't do this. Chucky Smooth, 15 years from now, his kid's gonna kick him in the nuts, call him a deadbeat dad, and maybe go win the Intercontinental title. We've seen it happen. But
yeah, at least okay, yeah, that's a great point. At least he's not like putting the custody of his kid. You know, like he's gonna grow back. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But still, it's traumatic that you're gonna grow up and you remember, like, yo, my dad did this to me. That's crazy. He put me in his wrestling angle and got my hair. Like, what? Like, I don't know. There's some long term stuff going on here. And you, Joe, you might become that kid's idol. You might become that kid's idol after this match, and that's Chucky's fault.
I might have to adopt the kid after and like.
You might have to. You might have to. He might,
because if Chuck Smooth is raising his son might grow up to be a dope addict. And if I'm raising him, he might grow up to be the second generation most professional wrestler this generation's ever seen. So, or of that generation. But, yeah.
Let me ask you this when we wrap things up really quickly. But do you ever feel like you go too far? Is there ever a part of you where you're like, maybe this is a step too far?
Nope.
Nope. It's all what it should be expected, and everyone did it to themselves?
Not even they did it to themselves. It's just, if I feel something's right, it's right. Like, there is no, I'm not wrong. And even if I'm wrong, if I look back and I was like, oh, maybe I was a little wrong. Like, no, I was still right because that made sense in the moment. And then it got me to the position I'm now. So maybe I'll look back and be like, okay, that was kind of messed up. But I'm here now. So.
Do you ever see you and Chucky Smooth having a relationship again like you guys once had?
No. Oh no. Especially after I shave his son's head. Oh, probably not. But it's okay, dude. Like, I'm known for blowing bridges up. Like I love burning bridges. It's fine because there's always somebody else. Like everyone sees, like, yo, I see something in this kid. Like I'll tell you off camera of how many people who want to put their name on Joe Alonzo and say, oh, I helped that kid. I helped that kid. Because they all know where I'm going. I'm going to the top of this industry. And this is going to be an example for anybody out there who was a has-been or never was. If you want to try to put your name on me and I catch it and I see that you're not being genuine, I might shave your son's head. So watch out. Like, don't try to take advantage of me, bro. I don't mess with that.
So if you do shave his
I'm going to shave this kid's head.
Have you like checked out some hairstyle designs? Are you thinking of putting like a JA in his head? Like, what are some concepts we've come up with here? Are you thinking like, hey, maybe I'll just give him a mohawk or something?
I think I'll do Road Warrior Hawks, like just right now.
There's just two lines there. This like nobody has a haircut like that, so it was really just a decision that you made. Like
it's hard because if this kid isn't if he's squirming around, he's being a difficult little fucker. I might have to like really hold his ass down and shave him. So like a little crew cut. So I don't know. Like it all depends on if the kid is just chilling out, I might be able to do a cool design and make him not look too bad. But if he gives me a fight, I'm just gonna make him look bogus. I don't know.
Do you think that that you feel any sympathy at any point for this child or any empathy?
Nope, it's gonna make the kid tough.
If the waterworks start or anything like that.
If I think mentally, I'm gonna make the kid tough. It's gonna make or break the kid. Like the kid will grow up one bad motherfucker, or he's gonna be like, oh my god, that traumatic experience that happened to me when I was 6 years old and I had my head shaved by that grown man in the middle of the ring. Oh my god, so hard.
The kid's 6 years old?
Yeah. What?
Why did I think he was like a 12, 11, maybe more aware of what's happening?
No, he's 6.
Holy moly, this is insane.
Bro, I had more things happen to me when I was 6 years old, okay? And I turned out just fine. The kid's gonna be able to survive a haircut.
Who approved of this? Who said this is like this? Literally, like Chucky Smooth, you're not making yourself look like a great dad right now,
dude. So I'm doing the kid a favor. Like, hopefully, after I shave his head, we can get DCFS involved, and we can put him with like a family who like will take care of him and not put him in a position to have his head shaved. Like,
hey, why do you think like, oh my god, sending child services after him after this would be pretty insane? You should probably just have them in the building June 28th.
Yeah, be like, yo, that's him. That's the father right there. Like,
nice. Hey, I got child services in the front row just in case you didn't know. They're right here.
Dude, I don't know. I think it's a win-win if I win. All right, if I win, not only do I get to brag and like I won, I'm a winner. So of course, right? Not only that, for me, my own entertainment, I get to shave a little kid's head, which I think would be funny. And then at the same time, like we could possibly get that kid in a better household and have a brighter future than maybe I'll even adopt a kid. I don't know. Like I'll be like a Adam Sandler, like a Big Daddy moment. You know what? Like
I'm telling you, if this kid grows up and he starts wrestling, and like I don't know where I'm gonna be 15 years from now, if I'm still gonna be the wrestling classic or what I'm doing. But if I come across this kid and he's wrestling, and I start looking at him, and I'm like, hey, he's starting to look like Joe Alonzo. I feel like maybe there was something there when this kid went through that traumatic, whether he gets his head shaved or not, that traumatic situation where this other guy was determined to shave his head.
Yeah, if you see a kid going around, his name is Stevie Smooth. You know that's him. Little Stevie Smooth.
Yeah, it works with Stevie Smooth. Okay, outside of AEW in this match, really quickly, what are some other things you got going on? I see your hat. Shout out to Fourth Rope. You've been doing great stuff over there as well. Shout out to Dizza and Westside Gun and the whole crew and Flash and everyone, Tavia. But tell me what else is going on with you right now, really quickly before we wrap things up. What else is going on in the world of Joe Alonzo and the world of professional wrestling?
Besides shaving kids' heads, I mean, I've been popping up at TNA. You might see me pop up somewhere soon. Little company showing up in Chicago soon for a couple dates. Might pop up there. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I just gotta update some blood work and stuff. Couple other indies. I've been doing Pro Wrestling Revolver a lot. Are you familiar with Revolver?
I am. Yeah.
So I've been doing Pro Wrestling Revolver. They just threw me a bunch of dates. But
They've had some stat cards in the past. They've had Moxley there and others. I remember watching a few Revolvers. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, like House of Glory. We're doing a lot of House of Glory.
They're great too. They've always got solid cards, big names. Mercedes wrestled there recently as well. Like it's been a good time.
Yeah, so
I mean, Red's amazing. So
is Red amazing?
he's amazing. He's an amazing Red.
Red.
He's an amazing Red. I'm glad you caught that. I was just gonna let it fly.
Dude. Bars, dog. Bars, bro.
Red is amazing. I don't know if you know.
Amazing. He is. Amazing Red is.
Amazing Red is amazing. That's crazy. But yeah, so House of Glory, great. Yeah.
It's a House of Glory Revolver, AEW. I might lose that one, but show up somewhere. It's okay. I mean,
yeah.
Let the rumors speculate. But
no, like on that note though, right? Like, we're not going to get into it, but like the Joe Alonzo redemption story, the ups and the downs and where you're at now, it's pretty amazing and it's impressive. And to see everything that's going on, like you've literally, I think, in the last 2 years, shown up in every company, major company, in some capacity.
Dude, literally,
and it's like you can't deny that. And then, I mean, maybe it's a story to tell right now, maybe it's a story to tell later, but like you also did the whole like big deal for Fourth Rope and stepped in when they needed you when you weren't even on the card and had that moment to earn that trust. Like,
dude,
you've been stepping
like
it up,
that, bro. When you're dope, like I don't think any other wrestler would have been able to rise to the occasion in that moment. But
no, like they stepped in and said, "Go, Mike, go toe to toe on the mic with MVP," and you did exactly that. Like, I'm telling your story, so you don't have to tell it, but like that's only like nuggets. We'll tell the full story one day, but like it's like, you know, like it's cool like to see that, like as someone that's followed you since, you know, like 2018ish, and
since the Tekashi 6ix9ine days.
I wasn't gonna say it, but you know, since the 6ix9ine days, I'm like,
stupid.
like for, and like, you know, like the first time you were on my shows in 2020, we ran it back in 2023. We're doing this to promote the AAW show, but it's just like to see the progression and follow you, and obviously like, you know, I've been collabing with you on posts and I watch everything that you're doing, and like appreciate I see all that, and it's like it's cool to see, man. So like it's and honestly I don't even want to know where you might pop up, because I like being surprising, like, oh, what the fuck, you know what I mean? So like it's cool to see, and it's exciting time to be a Joe Alonzo fan. So if you aren't a fan already, like jump on the bandwagon before it's too late, you know?
Dude, someone told me, they're like, I don't know how you always just find a way to survive. Like, I don't know. I think because the first big company I ever did was AEW.
Yeah.
And look into all that stuff. And then that fell through. I mean, there's a lot of rumors I still let kind of like linger around, but I've never confirmed nor denied, because it's just like, I think it's funny when fans come up with their own stuff, and I'll let them like drive themselves crazy and make them think they know it all because they claim that they do. But that happened, and then yeah, dude, like I think after that happened and I kind of like had nothing, like when your back is against the fucking wall, bro, like the shit you can do, you just go into survival mode, bro. And you're just like I just knew, I'm like, AEW. I said, I made a tweet. I want to say this was like 2021. I said, getting squashed by Cody Rhodes on AEW Dark will not be my biggest accomplishment. And a year later, your boy popped up on SmackDown wrestling Gunther, wrestling Veer Mahan, then showing back up at AEW, and which people said you would never be back at AEW. Who showed up to AEW, bro?
Yeah.
Go back up to AEW.
I even tripped when you were in that first extra scene at AEW. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that Joe? Like, what is Joe doing here?
QT Marshall said I would never be back at AEW. Never.
Yeah.
Who booked me for AEW? QT Marshall. Not only that, signed a 2-year contract with I almost said the Smashing Pumpkins, with NWA. And then boom, now like then TNA, now Fourth Rope, possibly back at AEW again. It's
just a lot of cool stuff, and it's cool to see that, right? Like, and it's one of those situations where it's like I know this is totally off of what we're supposed to be talking about, but it's just like, you know, when you, like, to your point, when your back's against the wall, when there was many opportunities for you to be like, okay, maybe I burnt all my bridges and this isn't gonna work out, and maybe that was like it wasn't. You kept going. I think that's a testament to you and a testament of what people can learn from following your journey. Is that like, hey, like one day when you get to tell like the real uncut full stories of everything that has happened to you without worrying about your future because you're at a good place, that's when people realize like, oh shit, like that's crazy.
Dude, like I anyone out there, if there's a young kid watching this, right, or not even young kid, if you're just like, if you for some reason, I don't know, like have a bunch of heat or you have a bad rap or whatever, I don't believe like someone can be canceled. Like
Yeah.
that's like the biggest cancel. But like, I mean, if you did something really messed up, okay.
It depends on the level
Yeah.
of what it is and like
okay, rewind.
but in
Depends on
wrestling,
what-
no, like heat in wrestling, not heat for things you did outside of wrestling.
Yeah,
because
like
even for you, a lot of it was just heat in wrestling. It wasn't like
yeah, I
you
never
did something that's unforgivable or really bad. Like,
exactly. Like there's nothing
Yeah.
that I did that what like everything I got in trouble for was something I posted. Like I knew what I was doing. I don't regret any of it. Like I
Yeah.
knew what I was putting out there. But if I feel like I see a lot of people who will like get some type of weird heat and then they're like, oh, their career's done. They're not taken seriously. They're looked at as like a joke. Dude, I don't believe that. There is no way you can get fully blackballed from any industry. If you in your mind envision that you are a star and you're going to get every single thing you've ever dreamed of, every single thing you've ever imagined, you can do it. If you can see it, you can do it. And in 2021, I literally saw, dude, like, I'm not going to get into the whole story, but like, I first learned about like really getting into like my spiritual side and manifesting and just visualizing.
For sure. Yeah.
And in 2021, bro, in December of 2021, like super depressed, whatever, I told myself I went to a WWE show in Chicago, Allstate Arena. I went home super depressed and sad after, and I was like, I will never sit on that side of the guardrail again, on that barricade again. Next time, only time I'll ever go to WWE is that I'm in that ring. That was December of 2021. On March, right by my birthday, March of 2022, I wrestled at Allstate Arena 3 months later because I told myself, I said, I see myself in that ring. I see those ropes. I see the WWE logos on the turnbuckles. I feel the cold air hitting me. I felt all that, and it happened. And so much stuff has happened after.
And I want to give you a little bit of credit. I mean, extra, but like it's also like you didn't stop working. You've gotten yourself in better shape. Just in life itself, like and a lot of the things you got in trouble for too, like even getting me in trouble, you got me in trouble one time. I'm just like, yeah, but he was young, man. Like he was a kid. Like, what do you expect? You know, and I'm not trying to like kid you, but like that's just the case. Like you've grown up. You're not like that. You every year you get older, more experienced and wiser, right? So it's like
I'm low key still the same guy.
I know, but I mean, we're all low key the same people we were, but we grow and you change. If you're the same person you were 10 years ago, you're doing something wrong. So you've grown a bit. And like my whole point is like you were still putting in the work. You were still grinding. The amount of times I would either call you on the phone. I think almost every time I've called you on the phone or I jumped to one of your live streams, you were at the gym or going to the gym or leaving the gym. Something about the gym. Like, so that being said, like you put in the work. So yes, like it is very, I'm a big believer. I'm a big spiritual guy. I do believe in manifesting. I do believe in law of attraction. I do believe in like the whole, I'm not to sound cheesy, but like, hey, like don't give up. Like if you keep grinding, like it'll come when
Never
it comes.
give up.
Yeah, I don't
Never
want to
give
say
up.
those exact words, but like it'll come. Like listen, man. Like I tried. Like I told my story right before last year's WrestleMania. I'm like I tried getting media since 2017. I didn't get it until 2024. I thought I had heat with the WWE for a lot of years. They didn't like me. The regime changed and now they like me. Like things happen if you just keep grinding. You know what I mean? So give yourself credit for all that because you never stopped hustling. I remember there was a time you told me you had a hard time getting booked in Illinois. Now on June 28th, AAW, they're still trying to get rid of you, and you're gonna try to shave a
They
guy's
ain't never
head.
getting rid of
Yeah. And you're gonna shave a guy's, trying to shave a guy's head, wrestling Chucky Smooth in Illinois, in Chicago, AAW, and we're looking forward to it. We're wrapping up like that. That was a good transition back to bookend this whole interview. And keep up with Joe Alonzo, guys. Make sure you guys are following him and check out June 28th, AAW.
I'll be sure to send you that clip when I'm shaving that kid's head.
No, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. The craziest thing is if he just starts shaving his own head in front of his dad and be like, F you, dad. He's 6. I keep forgetting he's 6. My brain's like, he's like, oh, 13 years old. Like, he can be a part of this. Poor kid probably has no idea what's happening.
He just finished up kindergarten. I think today was his last day. He's in kindergarten.
You're not making it sound any better. He's in kindergarten, guys. I'm going to shave this kindergartner's head. All right, everybody, keep doing this thing. We'll see you all later. Peace.